Tommy Robinson, people have been protesting in his name. What do you make of Tommy Robinson? Is he a good guy in your eyes?
No. All of that lot, we have nothing to do with them.
Even the protesters who have got banners up saying two-tier Keir, you agree with them on the policing and justice?
We agree with ourselves. I'm not aligning ourselves with Tommy Robinson's
passport problems, you name it. He's got his own campaign. We're a political party aiming to win the next general election. He's not what we need.
Reform UK has just thrown everyone for a loop with an unexpected U-turn on Tommy Robinson, leaving supporters and critics alike scrambling to make sense of the sudden shift. This shocking reveal exposes the real dynamics behind the party's strategy, suggesting internal tensions and calculated moves are at play, and as we dig deeper, the full picture of what's really going on begins to emerge, showing that politics in the UK is as unpredictable and volatile as ever.
Now, after the weekend, there has been a lot of people turn their back on Reform as a party. I am a supporter, I favour Reform, or have been, but after the weekend's comments, I, like many of you, have been a little disgruntled with the way that Richard Tice went about his comments. Now, for those of you that don't...
For years, Tommy Robinson has been at the forefront of exposing the horrific grooming gang crimes in the United Kingdom, relentlessly pursuing justice despite widespread vilification and criticism. Branded by many as a far-right extremist, he has endured intense scrutiny and personal sacrifice, all in an effort to highlight the systemic failures that allowed these atrocities to continue. Yet, recent revelations about institutional cover-ups and deliberate suppression of information have vindicated many of his claims, shining a light on the very issues he risked everything to expose. Hey, quick favour, if you find this political content interesting, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Most of you watch without subscribing, and it's totally free, but it helps us out immensely. Have you done it yet? Thanks so much for the support. Now, let's get back to the video.
Well, he's attacking the leadership of Britain. I mean, he's saying Britain's been terribly badly led, and that the grooming scandal, the mass rape scandal, which has resurfaced, and transcripts of what was said in court have been online, and I recommend you at home don't read them. You won't sleep at night.
The fallout from these revelations has been seismic, sparking intense public discourse around Tommy Robinson's work, the failures of political leadership, and the broader implications for justice and free speech in the UK. Adding a high-profile voice to the debate, billionaire entrepreneur and free speech advocate Elon Musk has publicly expressed support for Robinson, calling for his immediate release. Musk's involvement has sent shockwaves through the political sphere, raising serious questions about Reform UK's stance on Robinson and whether Musk's influence could trigger a major shift in the party's approach.
Do you worry that the party pooper could be the person who may be your biggest saviour a week ago, Elon Musk? You called him a bloody hero on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
You said you were expecting a reasonably sized donation. Do you still think that? He's saying remarks now attacking Britain, supporting Tommy Robinson. Is he now political kryptonite to you?
Well, he's attacking the leadership of Britain. I mean, he's saying Britain's been terribly badly led, and that the grooming scandal, the mass rape scandal, which has resurfaced, and transcripts of what was said in court have been online, and I recommend you at home don't read them. You won't sleep at night.
For decades, the UK has struggled with a systemic failure to address grooming gangs, with reports revealing horrific cases of sexual exploitation targeting vulnerable young girls. Victims were often silenced by the very institutions meant to protect them, while investigations showed that authorities frequently ignored or downplayed these crimes out of fear of being accused of racism. This created an environment where predators operated with impunity, leaving victims and whistleblowers to fend for themselves.
And so, yes, he is attacking the leadership in Britain. He's very supportive of me. He's very supportive of the party. He sees Robinson as one of these people that fought against the grooming gangs. But of course the truth is Tommy Robinson's in prison, not for that, but for contempt of court for the third occasion. But I mean, equally, there are people in Britain who think that Robinson is a political prisoner. That's the narrative that he's pushed out. That's how he earns his living, but it isn't quite true.
Tommy Robinson emerged as one of the most vocal critics of this broken system, tirelessly working to expose these atrocities through documentaries, public confrontations and investigative efforts, all of which were met with fierce backlash. Branded an agitator and accused of inflaming racial tensions, he faced relentless criticism. Yet his persistence ensured the issue remained in the public eye, forcing authorities to confront the scale of the problem. Recent revelations have added a new layer of gravity, showing that key figures in law enforcement and local councils actively suppressed information to avoid political fallout. The shocking extent of these cover-ups has reignited calls for accountability, and Robinson's long-standing warnings now appear remarkably prophetic.
No, it's certainly not. I mean, at least in Britain, Twitter is still predominantly a left-wing progressive platform, at least insofar as we're talking about political Twitter. It has always had a left-wing dominance, and that remains the case today. And for that, it doesn't really matter who owns it. It's not as if Elon Musk was somehow clamping down on left-wing accounts. What he's done is simply he has relaxed content controls, and he is sometimes himself trolling leftist Twitter users.
The involvement of Elon Musk has added an unexpected twist to this unfolding saga. Known for his outspoken commitment to free speech and his readiness to challenge political norms, Musk has used his platform to amplify Tommy Robinson's work, sharing links to his documentaries and questioning why the UK continues to punish someone for exposing the truth. Musk's critiques of the UK's justice system and political leadership have struck a chord with many, drawing wider attention to the broader implications of the grooming gang scandal.
Next tonight, Reform UK leader Nigel Farage has said that the English Defence League co-founder Tommy Robinson isn't welcome in his party. Follows high-profile support for Robinson. His real name is Stephen Yaxley-Lennon from Elon Musk.
Musk's public support for Tommy Robinson has reignited debates about freedom of expression and the vital role of whistleblowers in a democratic society. By shining a spotlight on Robinson's case, Musk has not only bolstered his credibility, but also pressured UK leaders to confront the systemic failures that allowed these crimes to continue unchecked.
I wanted Tommy Robinson to join UKIP. I don't want him to join Reform UK, and he won't be.
Reform UK, a political party focused on systemic reform and government accountability, has often found itself at odds with Tommy Robinson's supporters. Figures like Nigel Farage and Richard Tice have publicly distanced themselves from Robinson, citing concerns over his perceived divisiveness. This stance has created a rift between the party and a significant segment of its potential base, many of whom see Robinson's work as aligned with their values.
Urging people to vote for Reform UK, generally promoting articles which support their campaigning issues. Now, all of that's well and good for Nigel Farage to have one of the world's richest men, the US billionaire, close ally of Donald Trump, supporting him online. However,
Musk's vocal support for Tommy Robinson presents a potential turning point. If Reform UK chooses to align itself with Musk's vision, it could help bridge the gap between the party and Robinson's supporters. Such a move would not only energise their base, but also position Reform UK as a party willing to take bold stances on controversial issues, signalling a readiness to confront difficult truths and challenge the political status quo.
In British politics by tweeting on X, the site that he owns, in support of Reform UK is a bit of a double-edged sword for Nigel Farage. So he's always liked to take a pop at the Labour government, Sir Keir Starmer. It all began after the riots, Southport riots this summer, but over the last few days he's got increasingly inflammatory with his comments criticising Sir Keir Starmer and Jess Phillips, the safeguarding minister, principally over the issue of whether or not there should be an inquiry into the sexual exploitation of children by grooming gangs.
Despite the potential benefits, Reform UK faces significant challenges in reconsidering its stance on Tommy Robinson. The party risks alienating moderate supporters who view Robinson as a polarising figure, and aligning with him could expose Reform UK to criticism from political opponents and the mainstream media, who may use the association to undermine the party's broader agenda. However, navigating this delicate balance could also offer an opportunity to redefine their identity and appeal to a wider, more engaged base.
has been very careful to distance himself from Tommy Robinson. In fact, he resigned from UKIP, which he formerly led back in 2018, because he saw the party as getting too close to Tommy Robinson, who had been hired by a later leader as an advisor. And since then, he's been very careful to ensure that his political involvement is in trying to bring Reform UK and UKIP previously more to the centre of the right of politics to make it an electoral.
On the other hand, failing to engage with Musk's endorsement and the growing support for Tommy Robinson's cause could be a missed opportunity. Reform UK must carefully navigate this complex landscape, balancing the need to broaden its appeal with the risk of alienating key demographics, all while managing public perception and maintaining credibility in the eyes of both supporters and critics.
Latest polls suggesting it could win as many as 120 seats at the next election. He's holding a conference tonight in Leicester and a number others planned in coming days across the country. He's really trying to capitalise on this surge of support for reform seen at the last election. The last thing he wants is for his party to be associated with these more far-right elements, which Elon Musk certainly, by expressing support for both reform and Tommy Robinson, seems to be doing. So we heard him there really trying to...
Elon Musk's involvement carries far-reaching implications for UK politics. His willingness to challenge the status quo and amplify Tommy Robinson's work has thrust the issue of grooming gangs and systemic failures back into the public spotlight. Musk's critiques of political leadership and his calls for justice have resonated with a global audience, raising awareness about the scandal and highlighting its broader societal implications.
Tommy Robinson, people have been protesting in his name. What do you make of Tommy Robinson? Is he a good guy in your eyes?
No. All of that lot, we have nothing to do with them.
Even the protesters who have got banners up saying two-tier care, you agree with them on the policing and justice?
We agree with ourselves. I'm not aligning ourselves with Tommy Robinson's law.
Musk's support also underscores the power of influential figures to shape public discourse. By aligning with Tommy Robinson's cause, he has compelled political leaders to confront uncomfortable truths and consider the long-term consequences of their actions. As Reform UK navigates these developments, the party faces a critical decision. Embracing Musk's vision and Robinson's movement could unite two groups with overlapping goals, such as justice reform and government accountability, potentially creating a powerful coalition capable of challenging the status quo and driving meaningful change.
His approval ratings. He's described Britain as a tyrannical police state and has said that it's time to free Tommy Robinson from prison. Now look, I'll be totally honest with you. This isn't the first time that Elon Musk has intervened on behalf of Tommy Robinson.
However, the risks are undeniable. Reform UK must carefully weigh the potential benefits against the challenges of associating with a divisive figure like Tommy Robinson. The party's ability to navigate this delicate balance will be crucial in determining its future trajectory and its influence in shaping UK politics.